It is. All right, so when we get started, can everybody give us a boom shakalaka before we get started? I don't think anybody's here. I mean, that's...
No, because they're all sitting at the other one.
No, they're not. It says it's over.
I know. And I can't. So, I'm trying to... I'll tweet again. I just tweeted. Here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to my Facebook and go, nope, just kidding. It's not that one. It's this one.
For real? I'm sorry.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know what the hell I was doing. It's my first one. It's my first time. I need help. There you go.
You're so funny.
So when does it start?
It started. We're here. It's on. People can see us, and we're doing our thing.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
All right. So what you want to talk about? We're supposed to blab.
Well, how about the 5 mistakes people make when it comes to making presentations?
So you're the blab expert. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, and you got on the cool, like, you're all high tech. I look like I'm from the 80s, or I'm on Sports Center or something like that.
Well, that's like you got your gaming stuff going.
Calling a football game. So what are we supposed to do here? Are we just supposed to,
Okay. Remember when you used to do teleseminars?
Yeah.
Okay, do that.
Well, I used to do this on the teleseminar, but nobody could see me doing weird stuff.
Well, now they can see you doing weird stuff. So
Jeff
Susan
told me
is
I
here.
shouldn't pick my nose. Jeff says I shouldn't pick my nose on blab. I think it's okay. No one can really see.
Nobody can really see, no.
They can't see now. I mean, they don't know. You might not even have on any pants.
Don't tell anybody.
All right. So what are you supposed to do on this? What are we supposed to be doing? So the only 2 people are watching are you and me? That's it? There's a 2
and
up
Susan
there.
Susan is here and Matt is here. So those are the watchers, I think.
How do you know?
And then there's 6 subscribers.
I don't see them.
It says who's here.
Yeah, where?
We're not watching ourselves.
I'm watching me. I'm looking pretty good. Your hair looks nice. You said you were doing your hair. You were getting ready for this.
I did.
I didn't shave or nothing.
Get my hair.
So there you go. All right. Well,
so somebody else is here.
Anybody's here.
Well, see, now we're up to 4 people seeing us.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right.
See? And so Casper Lab is here.
So I'm going to have like 40,000 people that I send an email to that I screwed up not only the link, but I screwed up the merge field. So I just look like a real punk on
you look like a rookie.
Yeah.
That's all right. So listen, so after we're done, then you're going to send the link to the replay?
No, probably not.
Well, all right, whatever. But you can send the link to the replay. And then also when we're done, once you stop the recording,
yeah. I don't know if I'm pointing them the right way, but by God, there's 2 or 3 of you here. Light me, love me, whatever.
I'm gonna click. I'm clicking your claps.
Oh boy,
I'm giving you props.
You gave me the clap. Thank you.
I
so
did.
much.
I knew you would say that.
It was too easy of a setup. You would have been disappointed. Okay, so let's talk for a minute about, because we need to keep this mercifully short because people are coming and going. It's kind of pathetic.
Right.
So everybody's supposed to follow me at Real Jim Edwards. Everybody says you're supposed to say that on these. So if you're not following me yet at Real Jim Edwards, you're wrong. You need to follow me at Real Jim Edwards. And I'll just leave all the crap alone. So today we wanted to talk about the 5 mistakes people make when it comes to making presentations. And then we're going to make a shameless pitch for Signature, if I can get for signaturespeechwizard.com. So today's blab is sponsored by signaturespeechwizard.com. And the fact that it's not very professional and I didn't do a good job is because Felicia didn't train me before we got on. I'm sorry to tell everyone that. So
totally my fault.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
I take full responsibility for you sucking.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about the first mistake that people make. And the first mistake is no clear audience. So why you're the expert. I mean, I can, and ladies first. So, what are your thoughts on this point?
Okay. So first I see 0 next to my little clappy thing. So tap your screen or tap something so that
I'm tapping my screen, but it don't work. Oh, right. I got to use my mouse. Have that.
Yeah, you got to use your mouth. Oh, thank you very much. Jim's giving me love. All right. So, no clear message basically, or no clear audience means that you don't know who you're talking to. So just like in any form of communication, right? You teach people to write books, create content, that kind of stuff. if you're not writing for a specific audience, you're not writing for specific people, then it becomes more general and the language doesn't feel like it's hitting home to the person. So the same is true when you're doing a presentation. So any kind of presentation, whether it's a blab or whether it's you being on stage or it's a webinar or a teleseminar, a podcast, whatever, whoever you're doing it for, you need to be using language that they're going to be able to hear, that they're going to be able to understand. You're going to be speaking to their values. And the only way to do that, obviously, is to know who it is you're talking to. And if you don't, then you're just going to be another, wow, 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 loud voice in the crowd of people, and they're not going to be able to hear you because you're not speaking directly to them.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. So we're good on that one. So let's talk about the second mistake, is trying to appeal to everyone. And that, in my opinion, is one of the biggest mistakes that people make with any kind of presentation, but especially on webinars, because they're trying to, that was really distracting, seeing your face floating up, your head with this disembodied head floating up. I'm having enough problems right now. So the point is, that's so weird to see people's heads flying up and stuff. But just like I've found over the years that you're going to sell a lot more, like you say, books, or you're going to get a lot more subscriptions and stuff when you pick a very specific audience and you try to appeal to that very specific audience. Jeff Herring, I've heard him say it the best, so I won't give him any credit. I'm just stole this from him. He said it's better to go an inch wide and a mile deep than to go a mile wide and an inch deep. And that makes a whole lot of sense. So over the years, I've only gone after a few real specific markets: authors and ebook authors, people that are trying to do for sale by owner, people that are trying to get a mortgage, people who want to do specific video, like video sales letters, to specific types of copywriting, sell specific stuff. So, and the biggest mistake, in my opinion, or the summary of this one, is that pick a specific group of audience, a specific group of people, and if somebody asks you who is your presentation geared to, who is your webinar or whatever, who's it for, if you say everyone, then you suck. You're wrong. You need, in fact, okay, hang on.
Wait, do we have another sound effect?
No, we have then you need to stop. Because if you don't, if you say it appeals to everyone, it's for everyone, then you're wrong. It just doesn't make any sense. So the third mistake that people make is thinking that they don't have anything to say that people want to hear. And why don't you take that, and then I'll give my thoughts as well.
Sure. So, if you have a business doing anything for anybody, then the people who you would typically want to do it for, they want to hear from you. Whatever it is that you say that you do, when you tell people and you meet them and you tell them, I'm a whatever, and whatever it is that you do, what are some of the frequently asked questions that you get? That's a clue that people want to hear what you have to say. When they ask you, oh, wow, Jim, when you tell people that you write books or you teach people to write books or ebooks, like maybe your question is, depending on your audience, like, what's an ebook? Or if they already know what an ebook, people now know what ebooks were. When you first started, I bet that was probably a more popular question than it is today, right?
Oh, half the battle of selling an ebook was persuading someone to give you money for something they would never receive in the mail.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's way cooler to have like the physical book that you hold on to. So like that's the first part of your sale. So like,
kind of like you have your book in the background there that you're trying to do some product placement on, but it's not all the way in the picture. Here, show it to the folks just so you feel better.
Okay, I will get my book so I feel better and you feel better. Look, I'm going to leave the strategic book where it is.
Oh, okay.
And here's the other one from the, and Sadie is excited about being
awesome. So, yeah. Everyone's excited.
Apparently, yeah. Okay, Sadie, that's it. She gets excited. All right, so
where were you?
Oh yeah, the frequently asked questions. So I should know by now.
This is starting to
you talk. I'm going to put the dog on mute.
Oh, you were done talking? How can you mute? I can't mute. That's not cool.
Because I have my microphone. I just hit my microphone. Done.
Hey, Jeff said not to pick my nose on camera. What about scratching? I don't have scabies or anything. I'm good. I would say the biggest thing when it comes to this thing about not thinking you have anything that people want to hear is that a lot of people I've seen over the years they really discount their own knowledge. They discount their own value or worth. This mistake is actually, I think, a mistake of self-worth, of self-esteem. All of us have value to bring when it comes to life and helping people. All of us, if we've had jobs, if we've had experiences, if we've helped people, if people ask us questions, we have learned things over the years that are of value to other people. The key is being able to see that value and being able to share that value. And you brought up a great point when you said that if people are asking you questions, it means they're looking for that value. Easiest way to be able to communicate with somebody is through asking and answering questions. So if you don't think that you have anything to say that people want to hear, like Felicia said, the easiest thing that you can do is come up with a presentation that is based around the questions that people want the answers to. And if you're not sure what those questions are, there's this funny little site called the Google where you can go there and you can put in like your keyword plus frequently asked questions or FAQ or something like that. Are you talking to your chimp? So the point is, if you don't know what they are, you can go do a little bit of research, and then if you know the topic, you can figure it out, come up with the answers, and then build a presentation around those questions. So, and you can do that with anything. It's not just a presentation, with a book, with a webinar, with a teleseminar, with a, just a 5-minute talk, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Look, she got quiet for 2 seconds.
Who did? The dog?
My doggy. Yeah, that would be Sadie, the speaker dog. I said her name.
All right. So
hey, Tim, thanks for the tweet.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. I think that's a good thing, right? I don't know how the hell this works. People follow me. I lost my thing. So anyway, okay. So here's the other thing: is thinking. Oh, sorry. Here, I'll give you the clap right back. We're just passing the clap back and forth, aren't we? So the thing is, the fourth one is thinking you need a big audience to make money speaking, and you gave me some real good insight on this one time that we shared with people. So why don't you take the lead on that one?
Okay, so I'm gonna see if we can do this without a lot of noise in the background. Yeah, thinking that you don't have anything to talk about, right? You need a big big audience. So, oh look, it's right behind you. Look how fancy. I know. All right. So, yeah, you don't need a big audience. In fact, you could be speaking in front of 20 people and go home with hundreds, thousands of dollars in your pocket easily, without a whole lot of effort. Why? Because of the things that we talked about earlier. You're going to pick your audience, and you're going to know what it is that they need. What are their problems? What are their challenges? What are their issues that you uniquely can help them with?
Right.
And so you get a room full of people like that, and it doesn't have to be super full room. It could be tiny. And, you solve a problem that they have, and very quickly, very easily, they'll be willing to buy from you. So you don't need a ton of people. And then the people who are happy, they tell other people.
Right.
And you meet people who have that same crowd, and you go, listen, I know you've got a group of 20 people or 45,000 or whatever. I have something I want to say to them that I think that would help them. And so then they will share you with their people. And then your audience grows and can grow and can grow. And so the way to do it exponentially is to find people who have audiences already made. So you're not like looking for your onesie twosie people, but now you're going to find somebody who's got an audience of 20 people, 50 people, 100 people that you can go and speak in front of. And now that's 20, 50, 100 people who didn't know about you, know anything, that you taught, know that you even existed. And now they know you and they can buy from you. And that's a good thing.
Well, and I think the other thing to keep in mind is that if you want to speaking or giving presentations doesn't necessarily mean having to find an audience, a live audience. And, I used to run around when I was in the real estate or in the mortgage business. I would run around and I would talk to groups of real estate agents. I would talk at their sales meetings. So I would, getting a deal from a real estate agent was worth anywhere between $500 and $3,000 to me. So it was worth it to me to go speak to 5, 10, 15 people at a time. I was eager to do it. And I didn't need a whole lot of people to be able to make six figures at being 23, 24 years old. The point, though, also is not just that, But you can leverage technology now. So maybe you want to speak to 100 people. Well, if you want to speak to 100 people, you can speak to 100 people at one time, or you can talk to 5 groups of 20. And with teleseminars and webinars, you can leverage different groups that they don't all have to be in the same spot. They don't even have to be on the same continent or even in the same time zone. So that's the other thing you got to remember. And then you can further leverage it by taking the recordings of those presentations and doing those in podcasts, on YouTube, on your blog, all these different ways that you can then leverage those presentations where it's just one person at a time watching your presentation. But if you have 20 different places where people can watch a presentation, and if each one of those gets 5 people in a 24-hour period to watch it, that's your 100 people. So it's a lot easier to get the kind of exposure that you want without having to try and line up a single audience. So I think it's important to understand that you don't have to have a big audience all at once. You can have a really good presentation and get a big audience over time or in parts and pieces and stuff. And I'm actually kind of pissed that you have 119 cases of the clap in front of you and I only have 116. So somebody need to give me some love just because I don't want to have the Felicia to have worse clap than me.
Tim, you're so funny. Brian and Tim are like dual.
Okay, so the fifth mistake, or the fifth mistake is not having the right marketing materials to go with your speech. And that one I think is critical, especially with if you're trying to sell something at the end. And one of the things that I've seen people do, and I've spoken all over the world. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a professional public speaker, but I've spoken on, 4 continents or whatever, 3 continents and all over the Mediterranean and, even in Los Angeles, which I would consider a whole nother world in California. You're muted. I don't hear you. Unmute. There you go.
That's in a country unto itself.
So my point, though, is that I've seen a lot of other people speak, too. And it seems like the marketing materials that go with their talks are an afterthought. They don't really think through what they're going to be handing out. It's like I'm going to give a talk, and then I got to give a speech, and then I got to, hey, Tim, we met in Atlanta. It must have been a while ago. I haven't been in Atlanta in a while, but thank you for being here. And how the hell did you get 240? Have you been whacking your own button?
I'm pretty.
That's true. Yeah, you shaved. I didn't. See. Point is though that your marketing materials shouldn't be an afterthought. They should be a part of the whole synergistic act of making a presentation. And you see that online too. It's people will give a presentation and then like the pitch that they give afterwards has nothing to do with what the hell they talked about. It's not the next logical step, or it's like a throwaway thing, or they give a 15-minute presentation and it's a 45-minute pitch. So it's the marketing material thing is more than just, do you have a good flyer? It's do you have a good offer? Do you have an offer that makes sense? Do you have an offer that flows with what it is that you're trying to present? Is it the next logical step? And then also on the flip side, you don't have 20 pages of crap that somebody has to go through. In my opinion, you should be able to summarize your whole offer on a single page. That's the thing that you need to be able to do, because like you say, I mean, people don't have forever. They don't want to take forever. They're evaluating you, and then 15 minutes later, pretty much they're done. Whether it's a live presentation or a webinar or whatever, if you ain't got them within 15 minutes, 80% of your sales are coming in that 15 minutes. It's at least my experience, especially with webinars, teleseminars, but also speaking live from the stage, because people, there's another speaker coming up in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. The interesting thing is I pay attention to Facebook and Twitter, and I'll see a lot of people complaining about it is 20 minutes in and they're still talking about themselves. I can't believe there's no content. I can't believe. So that is what I hear you saying in terms of, you've only got 15 minutes. You probably have 45 minutes or an hour to speak, or maybe even 90 minutes. But if you don't capture someone's interest and attention in you and what you're about in that first 15 minutes, then, I mean, you don't have to make the offer until the end. They don't have to know what the offer is, but you'll lose.
No,
You can
what
lose
I'm
them.
no, what I was saying is the people that the whole thing's a pitch. I'm talking about people whose whole presentation is nothing but a pitch. All they do is talk about how great they are and the great results they've gotten and the great results their students have gotten. And then it's all just a giant pitch. There's absolutely zero content. That's the polar opposite of what I'm talking about here on my cool display.
Yeah, right. So Sadie hates that too. But it's what's interesting is I was a teacher before I did anything on the internet, and I default to teaching. And even with I default to teaching, I know if you don't make sure that the people hear the teaching part, they're going to feel like it was a pitch. And that's something I've had to learn along the way is if you're going to give a few tips for doing something, then make sure you say, and that's why oh my gosh, the dog. And that's why thank you, Tim. She's against what I'm saying. Yes. So that's why you have to, that's why you got to do the preview at the beginning and you got to do the review at the end is like, why? Because then people know, look, this is what I promised. And then as you go through the presentation, you deliver what you promise. I'm trying to move the mic so that's not capturing her sound as bad.
It's not making any difference. I'm just telling you right now. Yeah, it looks like you're holding a metal ice cream cone. Other than that, it's not doing any good.
So anyway, and then you do the preview at the end to remind them look, this is what I promised you. And then I told you these things. Remember, I told you this, and this. And now let's talk about where we're going to go from here. I'm going to go back.
Right. Well, and I'm just going to expand upon that point a little bit because it's called blab and pretty much just means that you can talk about whatever cool things you want to talk about at any given time. But on the flip side of that, and we're kind of riffing now, we're off the point. But one of the things that I learned from you was not, when you're going to do the education, is not to overload them. And that's another mistake that I see people making, myself included. I want to share so much. I want to teach so much. And, it's funny. I'm looking at you right here on my screen, but then that's making me look real weird on the thing. So I'm actually looking at you guys, but I'm looking down here at Felicia. So anyway, there you are. Whoa, touch you. Point is, though, that you can go to the other end of the extreme with the teaching where you end up overloading them. And so it's really important that you teach enough that they feel like they got value, but don't over teach them to the point where they're like, I just can't take anymore, because then you'll kill your sales just like you will if all you do is pitch. Because then you have people say really intelligent things like, well, as soon as I implement what you taught in your speech, I'll be ready for your offer. And you're like, yay, glad I helped you so much. That's awesome. And then you're like, stupid. So my point is that you got to find that balance. And that is something that I did learn from you that made a huge difference for me immediately in my presentations. And I've been giving presentations, since second grade, Catholic school, up there speaking, always being the kid that they chose to do the reading. That was me too.
I see what you did there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I did that too.
You stole my story. That's fine.
I did not.
I see how you are.
Not.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I can work my neck too, girl. Don't worry about it now. So.
Thank God, there's like 7 people here.
We'd never say that from the lectern. Hey, y'all.
Oh man,
it's got to start somewhere. Yeah. Hey, I'm getting this thing figured out. If I hadn't screwed up sending out the link, there might have been,
15 people.
15 people here. So, okay, now so now guys, it's time for our, today's episode was sponsored by SignatureSpeechWizard.com.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Felicia, tell the kids all about it, and then we'll give them a cool bonus at the end. I don't know what it is, but we'll make something up.
We will? Okay.
So, yeah, you will. You're going to give something away.
Okay. Well, first I'm typing the URL in the thing because I think it's clickable.
Oh, my goodness.
Boom.
Yeah, it works.
Look at that.
Oh, snap! What?
So, I don't know, a year and a half ago or so, one of our mutual friends who spoke on the Jim boat a bunch of times and who I've shared the stage with a bunch of times said, I can't believe you two, I can't put my finger there, don't know each other. So you need to meet each other. So we did. We got on the phone and I was driving to another event in Utah. First time we talked. I don't know if you remember this conversation or not. And
I do. I thought you were a little type A.
I was. I still am. So there. I don't see a problem with that. So, and we just started to chat about the stuff that he has, the stuff that I have. And I was like, listen, I think we could work together. And you're like, yeah, I think we could work together. And then we came up with this signature speech wizard thing. And one of the things that you do that's really cool, of course, you've had this wizard stuff that you've been doing for a while, is you can look at something and then reverse engineer it so that then all we do is lay out, here's some questions that people can answer. And then at the other end, out pops cool stuff. And so you reverse engineered all of my everything that I personally use, my PowerPoint slide presentations, my emails to invite people to webinars, my handouts, my order forms, like all of that stuff. And we distilled it down to 43 questions. The first 7 are like, what's your name, what's your email address, and what's your phone number, that stuff. So like 30 some questions that help people get to, at the other end, their speech totally done. And it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. And the other thing that it does, and thank you for all the kind words, but while she was saying how great I wasn't getting hardly any love, so I'm feeling very bad. I may never do one of these again. My self-esteem has taken too many hits today. But the point is, with Signature Speech Wizard, available at signaturespeechwizard.com, the bottom line is that if you want to make a presentation and you want to also create the marketing materials and also all the thank you letters, the approach letters, all of the social media content, that all works for the same speech, and you want to do it in about 30 to 45 minutes, then you need to go check out signaturespeechwizard.com. So that's our shameless pitch. It's not a shameless pitch. That's our sponsored by. It's kind of like, hey, you remember Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom?
I do.
Marlon Perkins. So that was cool. Marlon Perkins would talk a little bit about, life insurance, and then he'd make Jim go wrestle an alligator or something. I mean, there you go. So I guess you could grab Sadie and wrestle her, but then all the PETA people would get on here and get really pissed off.
She finally quieted down, so I'm not going to say the word DOG or its name. I have to say it, because if I say HER, then it realizes that that's what I'm talking about.
That's very dehumanizing that you would talk about your dog as an it. I mean, I'm really offended. In our PC culture now, I think that's terrible.
Are we going to take questions from the peanut gallery?
Can we?
Yeah. Well, people can, so here's what happens. So they can type a question in, and if they say pooch, I could say pooch because we don't use that word. Thanks, Tim. You can, if you want to get wild and keep your fingers crossed that nobody gets on and tries to sell their stuff or whatever.
I want to know all about Viagra.
You can, right? You can let other people, you can release, there's 2 more seats, they call it.
Oh, hell no. I'm not, no,
okay,
sorry.
So you could do that. So the first time that I did one with somebody else, it was our first scheduled blab thing together. I wasn't the host. And he was like, okay, you can come on. And this very nice woman was like, so I just want to talk about my cause for a minute. Is that okay? And we were like, oh, okay.
No, it's not okay.
I know, what's your cause? So anyway, it's a learning process. Yeah,
she would get this.
Would she?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
so
and
funny.
worse.
You're so funny. So, all right, so anybody, if you want to ask a question, Jim is not going to let you on camera. But you can ask it in the little Q&A box. Say again?
They type in that. What happens when they're typing in that thingy? Does that get tweeted or that just stays here?
No, that just stays here. But see on the top left where it says tell a little bird?
Yeah.
So all people have to do to tell people to come here, they tell their followers on Twitter, is they just click that and then it'll automatically get tweeted. So after you're done, I know you haven't been on Twitter in 3 years, so go over to Twitter and reply to people and say thanks and be nice.
How the hell do you do that?
Go to Twitter. Well, it would be nice, you mean?
No, how the hell do you reply to somebody on Twitter?
Oh, Jim Edwards.
No, for real, I don't know. I don't know how I got 3,000 people follow me on Twitter, and I'm following like 15 people, and half of those are video game companies. I have no idea how the hell it works. I'm being totally honest with you.
Okay, you're so funny.
For real.
All right, so if you wanted to talk to me on Twitter, you type at Felicia
I'm doing that
Slattery.
now, aren't I? Yeah. Should I do that now?
If you want to. But you just
Shit. Well,
do the at Felicia Slattery, all one word, all together, no spaces. And so that's my Twitter handle. So you put the at in front of somebody's Twitter handle, and then you
Felicia
okay. Yep, and then you can say whatever you want to me or about me, but I'll see it.
Awesome blab today. Thanks for giving me all the clap. Okay.
And then just
tweet it.
Tweet, yes.
Sweet.
And then I just saw it come up in my app, and it says what you just said.
So what do you do now? Do you reply back?
Right, here. I'm going to reply back. I'm going to go over to my phone because it's just easier. All right. So
now nobody's leaving. They're like, is Jim really just this dumb? Oh, okay. Well, yes, that's a great.
Review the 5. Review the 5 while I tweet you back.
Oh, okay. Well, hang on. Boom shakalaka. Let me go back. All right, here you go, kids. Number 1, no clear audience. Number 2, try to appeal to everyone. 3, I don't have a message. 4, you need a big audience to make money because size matters, right, Felicia? And number 5, no marketing materials. There you go. Now, how was that? Was that good? Was my good being white?
That was very good.
Thank you so much.
So I just tweeted you back, and I said, this is me tweeting you back, so you'll see that on the Twitter. And anybody who's following me will see it.
Oh, one view new. Oh, and now it has a line between us. Now, what do I want to do? What do I do if I want to say something back? Just hit that reply thing again?
Uh-huh. Yep.
This is me talking back. I've never talked back in my life.
Congratulations. Well, welcome. And I see it. It just worked. You're in
and that's all there is to it?
It's so easy, babe. So easy. All right. So wait, they want us to go through it again. So here, I'll go through them. So number 1 is not having a clear audience. So that means you don't know who you're talking to. So you're just going to talk to everyone, which is number 2, trying on purpose to appeal to everyone. I had a photographer friend once before I knew anything about marketing. She was like, well, who should I say, I take pictures for? And I was like, anybody with a face. Anybody with a face is not a market. So you don't want to try to appeal to everyone. Number 3, thinking that you don't have anything to say that people want to hear. If you have a business, if people ask you questions, if people come to you for advice, they want to hear something. Number 4 is thinking you need a big audience to make money speaking. You don't. You can start with a very small audience. You can start with, how many people do we have here today on our little Blabland? 7.
Not enough.
You can start with 7. And I don't know if you and me count. Look at
laser
you.
Pointer.
You're laser pointing. Beautiful.
If I had a cat, the cat would be going nuts right now.
It's a good thing you don't. And then number 5, not having the right marketing materials to go with your speech. So there are 5 mistakes. There are lots of mistakes. I've been teaching speaking since the 90s, the early 90s.
1978.
No, that was my first speech. Actually, it was 1970.
Oh.
It was 1978. It was April 1978. I was 7.
Wow, you're old. So, and the 6th mistake
not as
is
old as
not
you.
going over to signaturespeechwizard.com and getting your copy of the software.
That was so fantastically not subtle. Beautiful.
By the way, the 6th mistake is not going to signaturespeechwizard.com and grabbing your copy of the software. Was that more subtle?
Boom.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, all right. So actually what you just did is something that actually I see a lot of people make the mistake of. Is they're like, well, I'm afraid to tell people, or I don't want to upset people, or I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to scare them away. Like, are you in business to make money, or are you in business to just give away your stuff for free? Right? And so make some money. Make some money. Ask people to go somewhere and opt in for something for free, or ask people to buy something and then sell them something else. Because if they like that and they're happy, then you can help them. See, look it. They love me. I'm getting lots of props. Thank you. Light up with me.
You have a worse case of the clap than I do, and I'm glad of it.
Here, I'll clap for you. Yay,
Thanks.
Jimmy.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
so how do we wrap this up? Thanks,
So-
guys.
So you, if there are any other questions, we'll take any other questions. People are just joining
will?
now. See, yes, we will. Shut it. Because
Why
they're
are they-
here.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is starting to irritate me.
Easy now.
No, but we could, if anybody wants to take a question, they can, because people are just finding out that we're here. So you
So,
want to see if there's
okay.
any more questions, and if there's not, then we can wrap it up. And then what you do is you can post it to YouTube if you want to. But if not, then people will just go to your blab.im/the real
Can I
Jim
do that
Edwards.
automatically? Can I do that real easily and automatically, or do I
Yes,
have to
yes, and yes.
give
No,
blood?
there's
give blood
no-
to
no.
get it on YouTube.
no hoop jumping, no blood giving, no bloodletting on anyone else's part. You just see where it says tell a
too
little bird.
bad.
I know, I'm sorry. See where it says tell a little bird? When
Yeah.
you're done and you stop the recording, it's going to say upload to YouTube in that same spot. And you click that
No
button. Way.
No way.
Way.
It's the devil. It's the devil.
It's called automation.
Okay. Well, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
If anybody else got a question, you got us here. Two people that normally charge between $250 and $500 an hour to do personal consultations are standing here by, ready to answer your questions about giving presentations. If you don't take advantage of it now, it's your own fault.
I charge 1,000 now.
Me too. That's a right down. Me too. So there you go. What do you think of
Yeah,
that?
you. So there.
Yeah, me. Yeah, us. Whatever. I still have a
I don't think I'm
bobblehead.
going to be. I don't have a bobblehead of
Look at
myself
that.
though.
You don't even have a cool
I think
little
you're.
hat.
I think you're going to
that
buy
would-
me a bobblehead
I
gift
could
from.
put that. I could make that look like I was wearing it.
Look at that. Can you make it look like
That'd be
I'm wearing it?
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, I think
All right,
that's
no more
it.
questions. I think we're good to go.
All right. Cool. So what do I do?
I don't see your controls,
All right.
but is there a thing that says end
Pause
recording?
Says pause recording. I don't know.
Is there a stop recording?
Nah. Just says pause
End.
recording.
Not an end.
Okay.
All right, we'll try that. All right, so that's it. So we're done.
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today for my very first Blab. I want to thank Felicia Slattery for joining us for 5 mistakes people make when it comes to making presentations, and we'll see you next time on Blab.
Oh, it's
All
recording
right, I
again.
stopped the recording.